For our webinar this morning, we are going to give you some tips on 5 easy ways to use Snapchat for business. So for those of you that don't know, I guess we'll start there. What is Snapchat, right?
Yep.
Do you want to kind of elaborate a little bit on that?
Sure. Snapchat is, I suppose, a social media platform. It's also kind of used as a messaging tool. Like you mentioned, you can use it yourself, talk with your friends, but also businesses can use it to advertise for their business and promote their things that they have going on. You can send direct messages to someone that self-destruct after they view it, basically. So once you've viewed it once, you can't view it again, typically.
Sure.
You can also put things on what they call your story. That's like a 24-hour collection of things that self-destruct after 24 hours. So
nice.
There's all kinds of things there. There's also like the Discover channels. A lot of things on the Snapchat app.
So when I want to give Aubrey a hard time at work, I just send her a Snapchat with like 3-second self-destruct so she can't tell anybody, right, that I teased her. So, and I should have mentioned too, I brought Aubrey on this morning because she is our resident Snapchat expert, really. She designs all of our Snapchat filters and implements the campaigns for ourselves and then for other businesses that we do them for. So one thing that Aubrey taught me that I really didn't think about was with Snapcodes. So your Snapcode is kind of your ID per se, and you were telling me that for people as a business, in order for people to find you, they have to know your Snapcode, right?
Or your user ID, basically.
Okay.
It's a little bit different than, say, Facebook, where you can type in their name and be somewhat close. It'll kind of match it and find that business for you. Snapchat's not like that. It wants to know exactly the username that you're searching for. It's kind of like a phone number. You have to get the phone number exactly right. The other way to add somebody is through the Snapcode, and that's this yellow graphic that we have here. It's kind of like a QR code if you've ever used one of those. Basically, you can be in the Snapchat app and tap that, and you become friends, basically. Like a
so
QR
you just
code.
take a picture, right, of this with your phone if you're with somebody. Otherwise, you can add by their Snap ID.
Exactly.
Like you said. So,
and a way that we use that as a business, we can print this code and put it on our print materials, on banners or sandwich boards and that kind of stuff. So that's a major tool that we use to get people to follow us.
Sure, because if you're going to do this for your business, you obviously want to have followers on your account, right? So, okay, so I kind of wanted to go over some stats. I love Snapchat, and I use it a lot for personal use, but I wasn't as familiar with the business stuff until Aubrey kind of gave me the rundown probably a year ago or so, or a year and a half ago. We started talking a lot about it for business. So some of the stats that I thought were kind of mind-blowing, it said that Snapchat reaches 41% of 18 to 34-year-olds in the U.S. That's crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was higher than that, but yeah.
So I'm saying right now, if you're in business and your target end user is in that age group and you are in the United States, almost half of them are on there. So it's probably a smart platform to be on. It said there's about 158 million users on there daily, and about 300 or 301, I think it was, monthly users on Snapchat, and over 2.5 billion snaps are sent per day, which, what is that a second? Like 9,000 a second?
That's a lot.
So, and about 10 billion videos on Snapchat are viewed daily. I just thought that was crazy.
It is.
Again, if your end users are in that age group, and even if maybe you don't think about your end users there now, think about the future of your business.
Right.
Sometimes we meet with businesses and they say, I've got this demographic really locked down. I know where to advertise to them, but I need to start reaching those younger people so that either when I retire, my business looks more attractive to someone who's going to buy it because I have, a good broad user base. Or again, maybe families, right? Moms, a lot of moms fall in that age group. I'm the crazy mom with the camera all the time on Snapchat. So that's definitely a big part. So I want to start on the first of the 5 easy ways to use Snapchat. This is one of my favorite that we do a lot of both internally and for other businesses. So they're the geofilters. I want you to explain, Aubrey, if you can. There are on-demand, there's annual, there's community geofilters, and then there's lenses. So can you kind of give us a quick rundown of what each of them is?
Sure.
Okay.
So we'll start with on-demand geofilters, and that includes the annual and the like the one-time purchase, and those can be for one day, it can be for a few hours, it can be for a month, whatever you want. But anyway, a geofilter is this artwork that you put over a picture, basically. You take your snap, and then there's artwork that you can lay over it, overlay they call it.
You kind of swipe. So you take your picture and you swipe to the right, and then all of a sudden there's cool things you can put on
Exactly. And it's just kind of a way to say, to your friends, hey, look where I am, look what I'm doing. It's just kind of a fun way to share that with people. And so these actually are both examples of on-demand geofilters. And so these were paid, we pay money to Snapchat to have these, and these were just done for a short period of time. The annual geofilter would be if you did it for a year. It's obviously a lot more expensive, but you can change your artwork out all the time. You just have a filter that's active there all the time, and you can change what it says. Okay. And then the other version is the community geofilters. We don't have any examples of those up here because it really is not applicable to a business, but just so you understand what it is, that would be like the one that says like Hayes, Kansas, for example. It's not It's not in advertising. It's not, there's no brand or logo on it. It's just, here's where I am, and nobody paid to put it there, basically.
Okay. So. Yeah, because you can't put any logos on those community filters, right? Because they're meant to be just for like a town or a state or airport or something like that.
Exactly. Yep. So yeah, nobody paid to put that there.
So what are the ones that, how like sometimes like my kids, they'll get my phone and they push on their face and those funny like mustaches and stuff. What are those?
So those are called lenses.
Okay, that's lenses.
Right.
Okay.
And so that's like the face swapping, and they turn you into a deer and all those kind of things. They change all the time and they're super fun. But those are, they kind of morph your face. We don't use those in advertising here because you can't geo-target with those. So you can't, we wouldn't want to use it as Nex-Tech because if we were to want to do one of those, it would be international. I mean, anybody that had Snapchat would have that lens, and that kind of audience is going to cost you, and like we're just pretty local. So
it sounds like with the annual geofilter, that would be good for if you have a business like I know. I'm trying to think of a good, like Nex-Tech even, right? If you want to have one that just says Nex-Tech, so anytime anyone's in there, or I think even if I was like an event arena or something,
Definitely.
Like I know every single time that we go to a Royals game, go Royals, we always take our picture and swipe across and find the one that just says Kauffman Stadium or Kansas City, Missouri, right? But these I want to talk about for a second. This is a local business in Phillipsburg, and these are the on-demand geofilters. And what you do, like she said, is you geo-target down, and you kind of draw, it's called a geofence, around the area you want to target, and you put the time frame. So we did a campaign for Dr. Juneman in Phillipsburg for 3 nights of rodeo there. We just ran it for 5 hours, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. And he ended up having just a tremendous amount of views. It was like over 13,000 people viewed his logo in that short amount of time. So I think they're really cool. Some other things I think you could use them for, like especially rolling into summer. Weddings, I see that happening a lot. I know county fairs. I mean, what a great time to do that. And we've done that for some people before.
Graduation is a big one.
Yes.
That was one of our biggest, most popular filters that we ever launched was graduation, because people have their phones out and they're looking for, what filter can I put on the picture I just took of my graduate, my friend, or my kid or whatever. So.
Great idea. And even think about those hometown celebrations. It seems like every one of our small towns, like I live in Norton, we all have either a car show or some sort of celebration. What a cool way to, when there's going to be a lot of people in that area, geo-fence around that and get it's like putting your business card in all these people's faces for a short amount of time. So the second way that is a great way to use Snapchat is for contests. You can do all kinds of things. You've mentioned we've done some scavenger hunt type things. What's a Snapchat scavenger hunt?
So I'll give you an example of the one that we do here at Nex-Tech. We actually kind of partnered with Fort Hays, and we call it Nex-Tech Go. It's a spin on Pokemon Go, actually. Basically, what we started with was filters active in 3 different places, random places throughout the town, and we would tell people where they were. And basically, we said, take a snap at each one of these places, put the geo filter on, send it to us, and once we get one from you from all 3 places, then we'll give you a prize.
Okay, cool.
So that's a scavenger hunt one. And actually, right now it's actually active live right now because it's Friday. We do it every Friday, and the prize is a T-shirt today. So all you have to do is go to Fort Hays and send us your snap, and we give you a T-shirt. It's a really great contest, and people have our logo. So.
And what a great way to gain followers too. It seems like people will do things for free stuff, whether it is the $5 or $2 Cush ball with your logo on it, right, or a T-shirt.
Yep.
It is wild to me, or even chamber bucks or a gift certificate to your store that will get them in the door. And, you know, a way to gain followers then is if you have a contest, then they have to add you in order to snap you, right? So that really helps build a following. I would think even, you know, I think of food pics, right? Because I am like a total foodie and I live to eat. So every time I go out to eat, I always have to like, hold on guys, I gotta take a pic and then I'll put my phone away. And you know, it's like if I was a restaurant, you could do a cool contest, I think, for that. You know, ask people to submit their favorite food pics from your restaurant, and that not only gains followers on your Snapchat account. If you ask them to post it to your page, they have to like the page, and in order to post to it. But then you've got some cool pictures to use for your own advertising materials in the future, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you can do photo contests. Again, you can involve other social media platforms to do that. But
like this was a graphic we actually posted onto Facebook. So this says, send us your snap for a chance to win an awesome prize. And so this customer of ours basically had these filters active at the fair, and then encouraged people to send them their snaps with the filter on it. And then if they did, they were entered to win. I forget what the prize was. I think it might have even been a cash prize. But yeah, we do a lot of these, and these are actually usually really popular.
And kids are so cute, right?
Yeah.
I would pick those automatically because the kids are so cute.
Right.
So another great way to use Snapchat for business is live access, we'll call it. I know kind of giving people that sneak peek behind the scenes type of look at your business is kind of cool because a lot of people know who you are, but they don't really sometimes know what all happens behind the scenes and how, you know, you install a router or those types of things. So one thing you told me that you can do for live access is a Q&A with your CEO type of thing. So can you give me kind of explanation of that?
There's a lot of businesses that do this type of thing. You know, you just sit down and snaps are 10 seconds at a time. Keep that in mind. So, you know, the first snap will be me asking you a question, and then the next snap would be you answering it. And you can, you know, cover any kind of topic depending on what your business is. It could be your CEO. It could be a customer giving a referral. It could be anybody. You know, so that's part of it. We also have done what is the top 5 desk essentials one. That gets people involved.
Sure. Yeah, and I think the Q&A thing's cool because sometimes people will have, you know, a random question and they want to hear from somebody that's inside that's an expert. And again, the younger generation, we are more visual people and we like that interactivity. It's all about the experience, right? We're not as print heavy of users, how we absorb our knowledge and our information. So I would think another cool thing, there's some businesses I love to shop, and I know the Buckle here in Hayes does a great job with their account, but showing your new retail, right? If you're a retail store of any sort, when you get new freight, you know, ask people to follow your Snapchat account for a sneak peek at the new freight, and they kind of get first dibs on what just came in the door, right?
Definitely.
But what a cool way to, you know, or even your daily specials, right? Type stuff. Like, here's our, I mean, there's so many things that you could do just to show people. I think another cool thing would be kind of a job shadowing, like a day in the life of. And there's even some larger corporations that allow for Snapchat takeovers, and they let employees in their company take over their account for the day. And they'll go behind the scenes, show them, like, you know, if they're climbing a tower or if they're screen printing or if they're cooking, whatever it be. Kind of just a neat way to engage people where they don't feel like you're maybe trying to directly sell them something, but they're like, this is cool. I would like to do business with these people because they have a good culture or, you know, it's a cool experience there.
Another way that we use this is, obviously we do live video productions. This is one of them. We have a whole channel full of other shows if people don't know. It's like we have local cooking shows, local craft shows, and that's one of my favorite things to do is while we're on set is kind of give a behind the scenes feel of that. You know, you get behind the camera and show them how, you know, the real wide view of the studio and all that kind of stuff, you know. I think people really like that. You know, they feel like they're connected to it. You know, they feel kind of involved with it.
That's a great idea. So another way that you can use it, again, it kind of plays off contests, but more incentives and promotions. So I have a couple examples up here. These guys said, send us a snap to our account and we'll reply with a 30% off coupon. And then McDonald's has a thing where they'll say, thanks for your snap back, and they will give you a coupon when they're doing different incentives. One that we're doing right now, or in the works, is with Serves in Hayes, Kansas, and they're for those of you that aren't from the area, they're a local gas station convenience store, and they have popcorn and snowballs, and they're really famous for their snowballs here. Everyone's addicted to their snowballs. So they're doing a filter.
An annual geofilter.
Yep, an annual geofilter with their Serves logo on there, and they're asking people to, take a snap with using their filter and show it at the register, right?
You take any picture, put that filter on there, you just show it to the cashier, and she'll give you your drink at refill price is the deal. So, yeah.
That's bad news for me, right? I'm being there way too much now. So, but that's a cool way to just kind of interact people, because what happens is when they're interacting and they're engaging and enjoying that, then it creates a buzz, and then they tell other people hey, did you know that if you go Snapchat at Serves and use their logo, I mean it creates such a cool buzz that people will talk about, because sometimes we feel like, I think as businesses, sometimes we hear about the bad, and it's not as many people are as likely to talk about the good as the bad. So anytime you can get good, cool, exciting events like that out there, I think it gets people excited. I know Taco Bell did a cool coloring contest where they sent out on their Snap story, like you talked about, they sent a picture of a burrito or something, and you had to screenshot it and color it and then snap it back to them for a coupon. So there's some just different cool interactive things.
And then Taco Bell brings in these fun colored on pictures, and then they can reshare them basically on their story again. So it's a whole lot of advertising and content for them. They can share all the people that have been involved with that. So a lot of cool content.
Well, what's really cool too is everything we've talked about thus far. I mean, everything's been free except for
the paid geofilters,
which are incredibly inexpensive compared to traditional
any kind
means
of advertising.
They're very, very reasonable. So it's neat when you can use these to just have kind of a free presence in front of these people. So the last way that I want to talk about using Snapchat for your business is to humanize your company. We hear this all the time, guys. I know you think of as being a business owner or a doctor or someone that's in a great position like that. Sometimes the customers, maybe it's, well, I don't know if we're good enough to talk to them, if we're cool enough, I want to know more about them, but I'm scared because they're very smart or whatever. So it's a really great way to show hey, I might be a CEO or I might be a business owner or a doctor or a dentist or whatever, but I'm still a person too. And people like doing business with people that they like, right? So you want to talk more on that, top 5 desk essentials? I know that was one way we humanized some of our employees.
That was something we did here with our Snapchat account. So basically, I think I've done it maybe 6 times or so. We'll go pick an employee, somebody randomly, and they'll pick out their top 5 desk essentials, which could be pictures of your kids. It could be, your radio that you listen to every day.
Huge coffee cup, right?
Yeah, exactly. Your candy jar, whatever it is on your desk that you are passionate about or you enjoy, whatever. So we, through 10 seconds at a time, we introduce that person, their title, and then we go through those 10 things and talk about why those things are special to that person. And that gives a face to your company. It makes people feel like, people work there, people work there too.
Right.
They're not just a business. It's a place where people work. So.
Well, and sometimes people will recognize a face and they'll be like, oh my gosh, Aubrey, I didn't know you worked at Nex-Tech. And then they're like, oh, well, I'd like to buy stuff there because I know that person and I like them, so I'll go in there and check out their office. Another cool way, even think of Halloween, right? If your staff's all dressed up, I know we have a big costume and decorating contest. I mean, that's a cool way just to show hey, we're goofing off and having fun and we're dressed up, and so bring your kids in and trick or treat with us. You can do interviews, Q&A type things, which is similar to other things we talked about, the takeovers. You could really, do that. And I think even showing community event support. If you're at the local, football game, I live in, Norton, so it's if I'm in Norton and there's a football game and I'm there, it's hey, go Blue Jays tonight, I mean, any of those sort of things that you can show that you're just a person, not just a business.
Exactly. Gives a face to your business.
Yep. What was the lame jokes thing? I remember you talking about lame jokes.
It's one of my favorite ones. So anybody that follows our Snapchat account probably loves these too. One of our local content shows is Sunday Fun Day Bingo. And so our host of that show is Brett Dunham, and he's hilarious. And every week he comes up with these super lame jokes. They're great. So that's one of... I come over here and help produce that show every time, and at the end of the show, I get my Snapchat, my phone out, and I say, okay, give me those jokes one at a time, and I put them on the stories, and they're hilarious, and you can't beat that. So.
No, you can't. Brett is a hoot anyway, so for sure. So the other things I want to touch on, we've talked about a lot of ways that you can use your Snapchat account for your business, but if you're going to spend the time and the effort and the money or, on the things that do cost, you want to make sure that you're seeing if it made sense. What was your return on investment? And track those results. So we have a screenshot of, again, for Dr. Gentleman's Rodeo campaign, of the metrics from one of the nights when we targeted for 5 hours. So can you walk through what an impression is, what a conversion is, and what a view is?
Sure. So I guess we'll go up here first. This is kind of the geo-targeting we were talking about earlier.
The geofence, is that what we call it? Okay.
Yep, so you can, this is exactly where the rodeo was at, and this was the filter that was active. And so impressions is how many people saw that filter as an option, basically, that took a picture and were swiping to look for a filter. 289 people saw that filter. Okay. Of those people, we had 85 conversions, that's like uses. So 85 of those people decided to use this filter on their picture and send it to someone. And then we get to our views. And so this particular filter had 4,535 views. And so that's how many people received this snap or saw it on somebody's story. Wow. And so it's a huge reach. And so you're not just showing this filter to the people that are here. These people are sending this filter to their friends, and that's where this number comes in, over 4,500.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So again, like she said, it's not just the people that even follow your Snapchat account. Once they take a picture and send it to their friends, that really escalates the number of people that you're reaching really quickly. And again, this particular campaign, we did 3 nights, and reaching in a town the size of Phillipsburg, Kansas, if anyone knows, that is 2,000 or 3,000 people. So to reach that many people, that is huge, you guys. And again, for very little cost at all. And he did utilize Facebook with it too. He did a week Facebook campaign to promote that, and he asked people to watch for their filter at the rodeo grounds and take a screenshot using their filter and post it on their Facebook page for a chance to win a pair of Oakleys, because he's an eye doctor. Right. And it went insanely well. I think the Facebook campaign reached 19,000 people, and the Snapchat campaign was over 13,000. So talk about money well spent.
Absolutely.
And so if you think some of these social medias are only for the big areas or big towns,
not at all.
Interestingly enough, too, a lot of those users were even 40 plus and 50 plus. So there was a good array. Yep. So I know we want to plug our Nex-Tech account at the end of this too. So Aubrey, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah. So if you guys want to follow us on Snapchat, of course we want to share what we're doing. And honestly, it's for ideas too. If you're thinking about doing this for your business, follow us. You can see what we're doing and how we're using it. It's free, so you get some ideas and examples. So you can follow us. You can find us by our username, which is Nex-Tech with the hyphen. So you just go to Snapchat and add by username. And of course, this is our Snapcode, so you can hover over this with your Snapchat account and add us that way. And I think that's about it. Did I miss anything?
Awesome. Yeah. And she is always fun. She runs our Nex-Tech Snapchat account. So
for the most part,
just add her and give her a hard time if nothing else, right?
Send me some messages.
But thanks for joining us this morning. And
absolutely.
I feel like we have some good content out there, and hopefully you guys will start using Snapchat.
Yeah.
So thanks again.
Thanks.